Hello, I welcome you to today's lesson. My name is Paul Williams of Virginia. Today we have science for Basic 4. So if you're in Basic 4, come around, call your friends. Those who are not in Basic 4, you too, I need you around because we are going to look at a topic that you will learn it one day. Your class teacher will teach you. Those in Basic 5, Basic 6, GHS, even SHS, you need to be part of today's lesson because it's going to help you. Now, what's the topic for today? Wait, before we look at the topic, I have mentioned my name. So I want to know your name. Go to the comment section and let me know your name, where you are watching me from, the name of your school, if you're a learner. Okay, so the topic for today is here. Liquid mixture. Liquid mixture. So we are looking at mixture. So we have different states of matter. We have solid, liquid, we have gas. The materials around us, the things that we see around us, some of them are in solid states, some are in liquid state, some are also in gaseous state. Today we are going to look at liquid, but we are looking at a mixture made up of two or more liquids. That is liquid mixture. I hope you understand it. So let's say you have water. You mix it with Fanta. Water is liquid. Fanta too is liquid. So if you mix them, the mixture is what? Liquid mixture. You have milk. You mix the milk with water. Milk is liquid, water too is liquid. So the two things that you have put together, we call it liquid mixture. So that is what today we are going to look at. So you see, today's lesson is going to be an interesting one and easy to understand. But there are some few things that you need to pay attention. Otherwise, you may not get the actual explanation or the meaning. So just pay attention. If you have questions, you can ask your question. How do you ask your question? Or it is simple. Go to the comment section and write down your question and we will attend to you, right? Okay. Now these are the key words that we will see. The first word is mixture. Mixture. This is miscible. Miscible. This is immiscible. Immiscible. We have here distillation. Distillation. And this side, or this one is component. So when you talk of mixture, we are talking about two or more substances that have been put together. Two or more substances that have been put together. We call it mixture. When you come here, miscible, we are talking about two or more things that can be mixed together to form one layer. So we have miscible liquids. It means these liquids, you can mix them to form one layer, one uniform layer or color. Okay. The next word is immiscible. Immiscible. So you see that we have miscible in this word, immiscible. The word immiscible means you cannot mix them together to form one layer. So liquids that are immiscible are liquids that cannot be mixed together to form one layer or one uniform layer. The layer, I'm talking about color. You know, some liquids have their own colors. If you mix them, you see that the two colors, they will mix completely to get one color for the entire or for the two. But there are other liquids too. They all have their colors. If you put them together in a container and you even stir it, you will still see one liquid separated from the other. The colors will never mix. So those liquids are what we call immiscible liquids. Okay, so immiscible meaning they are not able to mix to form one layer. Always you see separate layers or separate colors. Okay, the next one is distillation. Distillation is a process used to separate liquids. It's a process that is used to separate liquid. So liquid that can mix to form one layer, we use distillation method to separate them. The next word is components. Component. So what is the meaning of component? As for components, you have heard it on several occasions, and I know you understand what components is. So what is components? Oh, okay. So components is part of something, part of a system, or part of a whole. Do you get it? Okay, so component, we are talking about parts, different parts that come together. So let's say you have solar system. So solar system, different parts come together. We call it component. For example, you have oil, you have water, you mix them in a container. The oil and the water that have formed a mixture. The oil is a component, and then the water too is a component. So you see the two components come together to form the mixture. So in mixture, the elements, the substances, the parts, the materials that come together to form the mixture, the materials are what we call the components. The materials are what we call the components. Very good. So let's look at this one. Yeah, so in our daily activities, we use so many things. Some of the things that we use are in solid form, some are in liquid form, some are also in gaseous form. All these things are important. So you see that the liquid ones, we use them for drinking, bathing, water and other things. We all drink. We drink water. We don't drink alcohol. Yes, I don't drink alcohol, and I know you don't drink alcohol, but you drink malt, you drink sobolo. All these are substances that are in liquid form or liquid state. So now we are going to look at how to form a mixture. How to form a mixture using liquids. That is what today we are going to look at. That is why we have liquid mixture. Our topic is liquid mixture. Now, what is mixture? A mixture is a combination of two or more substances that can be separated by physical methods. So anytime we talk of mixture, we are talking about two or more substances that can be mixed and at the same time can be separated. Okay. Now, liquid mixture is a mixture of two different liquids. So anytime you hear about liquid mixture, we are talking about a mixture where we have two liquids as components. We have two liquids as components. Okay, so liquid mixture is a mixture of two different liquids. Please, if you have a glass of water, another glass of water, and you mix them, that is not a mixture, because the same thing that you have put together, but we are talking about two different liquids. So let's say a glass of water, a bottle, or a glass of water and then a glass of fruit juice. If you mix them, that is a mixture because the components are different. If you have a glass of water, a glass of alcohol, you mix them, that is a mixture. But if you have a glass of alcohol, another glass of alcohol, and you mix it, you still have only one alcohol, and one substance cannot form a mixture. One liquid cannot form a mixture. One material cannot form a mixture. So a mixture is only formed when we have two or more substances put together. I hope you get it. Okay, so here we are talking about liquid mixture, and we are saying that they are mixture that contains two liquids, or the components are all liquid. And examples are water and alcohol mixture, water and palm oil mixture. Some liquids can be mixed easily to form one layer. There are some liquids that cannot be mixed to form one layer. There are two types of liquid mixture, and they are miscible liquids and immiscible liquids. So we are looking at liquid mixture. Even the liquid mixture, or the mixture that contains two or more liquids, we have types. So we are looking at the types. One is miscible. I explain what miscible is. What did I say? miscible liquids or miscible. Miscible means the liquids can be mixed together to form one uniform layer. And immiscible liquids, we are saying that they are liquids that cannot form one uniform layer. They cannot form one uniform layer. So you see them in separate layers. Okay, now let's look at miscible liquids. When liquids mix completely to form one layer, they are called miscible liquids. So examples of liquids that can be mixed to form one layer, we have one, water and alcohol. So if you have water and alcohol and you mix them, they can mix completely to form one layer. Water and Fanta, if you mix them, you will not see Fanta differently from water. All of them will be mixed completely. We have water and milk. If you have water and milk and you mix them, they form one layer, one color. We have water and vinegar. The same thing. If you mix them, they form one color or one layer. Kerosene and oil paint. Yes, kerosene and oil paint, if you mix them, they mix completely to form one layer. So if you are asked to give examples of miscible liquids, all these are miscible liquids. If you put them together, they will mix completely. And you will not be able to tell that, oh, this is liquid. Sorry, this is Fanta. This is water. No. The water, the Fanta, all of them will mix completely. So it will be very difficult for you to separate with your eyes to even tell that, oh, the liquid is, the water is here and then the Fanta is here. No, it's not like that. It's very difficult. You can't even tell, because when they come together, they are able to mix thoroughly. They are able to form one layer or color. Okay, now let's look at activity 1 here. The focus is to identify miscible liquids. Materials needed. We have water, Fanta, beaker, and stirrer. Now, how to go about it? Take a glass of water, take a glass of Fanta, pour the two different liquids into a beaker and stir them. Number 4, where the liquid is able to mix. Number 5 is the mixture showing 2 different layers or 1 layer. Observation: the 2 liquids were able to mix totally to form one uniform layer or color. It can be concluded that water and Fanta are miscible liquids. So because they are able to form or come together to form one layer, because they are able to mix completely and form one layer, we say water and Fanta are miscible liquids. Activity 2, the focus is to identify miscible liquids. The same miscible liquids. The materials that we will need water, alcohol, beaker, and stirrer. So here we are using, take a glass of what? Water. Number 2, take a glass of alcohol. Please don't drink the alcohol, I beg you. Number 3, pour the 2 liquids. Pour the 2 what? Different liquids into a beaker and stir them. Number 4, what do you observe after mixing the 2 liquids? Do you see separate layers or one layer? Number 6, what type of liquid mixture is it? So now let's look at observation. The 2 liquids were able to mix completely to form one uniform layer or color. It can be concluded that water and alcohol are miscible liquids. So water and alcohol, they are able to mix completely to form one layer. That is why we say they are miscible liquids. So if you are asked to give examples of miscible liquids, we have seen that water and Fanta, they are miscible liquids. Water and alcohol, they are also miscible liquids. Water, vinegar, miscible liquid. Water, milk, miscible liquid. All these liquids, when you mix them, they form one layer. Okay, now let's move on to exercise 3 or activity 3. So activity 3 the focus is to identify miscible liquids. And then materials needed, we have oil, paint, kerosene, beaker, and cellar. How to go about it? 1. Take a glass of kerosene. 2. Take a glass of oil paint. 3. Pour the 2 different liquids into a beaker and stir them. Number 4. What do you observe after stirring the 2 liquids? Number 5. Do you see separate layers or one layer? Number 6. What type of liquid mixture is that? The observation. The 2 liquids were able to mix completely to form one layer. It can be concluded that kerosene and oil paints are mixable liquids. So we can also conclude that kerosene and oil paints, they are able to mix completely to form one layer. So they are mixable liquids. So now we have seen what miscible liquids are. Miscible liquids. So what mixture do you form in the house? What liquid mixture do you form in the house that are miscible? Yes. When you are preparing your food, do you pour some 2 liquids together and you still see that the 2 liquids that you have poured or you have mixed, they have formed one color, one layer? Do you have an example to give? Share it with us at the comment section. Now let's go to immiscible liquids. So here we are talking about liquids that cannot be mixed completely. And here, examples are here. Water and kerosene. If you mix them, you see kerosene will be on top of water. Water and oil paint, you see they are not able to mix. One will be on top of the other. Water and palm oil, one will be on top of the other. Water and olive oil, the same thing. So anytime you mix water with the oils, always there will be separation. There is no way they can mix completely. Okay, now let's come here. The 2 liquids are always separated. The liquid that settles at the bottom is denser or heavier than the liquid that floats or settles on top. So with this type of mixture or liquid mixture, you see one component, one liquid will be on top and another liquid or another component will be at the bottom. The one at the bottom is denser. Denser means heavier. So the heavier liquid is able to carry the less heavier on top. So the one that is less dense settles on top or floats on top of what? The heavier one. Okay, now let's look at an activity here. To identify immiscible liquids, let me read again. The activity that we are going to perform, our focus is to identify immiscible liquids. So here we are going to look at liquids that are not able to mix completely to form one layer. And how do we go about it? Number 1, take a glass of water. Number 2, take a glass of kerosene. Pour the 2 different liquids into the beaker and stir them. Number 4, were they able to mix? Number 5, is the mixture showing one layer or separate layers? Number 6, why do you think one liquid is at the bottom and the other is on top? Now let's look at observation. The 2 liquids were not able to mix to form one layer. They form separate layers, so they are immiscible liquids. The liquid that is denser settles at the bottom, and the liquid that is less dense floats on top. So that is what you should know. If you have kerosene and water and you mix them, kerosene will be on top of water. Kerosene will be on top of what? Water. So you see that water is heavier or denser. Now let's come to this side. Another activity here. We have the focus here to identify immiscible liquids. So we are going to look at another liquids that are immiscible. Materials that we will need, we have water, palm oil, beaker, and cellar. Now how do you go about it? 1, take a glass of water. 2, take a glass of palm oil. Number 3, pour the 2 liquids into a beaker and stir them. Number 4, leave it for a few minutes to settle and record your observation. Number 5, what type of liquid-liquid mixture is that? Now let's look at the observation. The two liquids were not able to mix to form one layer. They form two separate layers. So water and palm oil are immiscible liquids. So you see, if you have water and palm oil and you put them together, you mix them, they will not be able to mix completely to get one color or one layer. You will see water separated from palm oil. The palm oil will be on top, the water will be at the bottom. The reason is that palm oil is less dense, or water is denser than palm oil. Now we have seen examples of miscible liquids and examples of immiscible liquids. So listen to me. If I ask you to give me five examples of miscible liquids, I know you can do that. 5 examples of immiscible liquids, I believe you can also do that. And if I ask you to differentiate between miscible liquids and immiscible liquids, this one I know is a cheap bonus question for you. So this is what we have learned: miscible liquids, immiscible liquids. We have seen examples of these types of mixture. Now, I have liquid, miscible liquid. I have immiscible liquid, but I've decided to separate the miscible liquids. The Fanta and the water, I've decided to separate it. The cooking oil and the water, I've also decided to separate it. So how do I separate these? The miscible liquids and immiscible liquids. How do I get the components separated in each type of mixture? So let's take miscible liquids. We have Fanta, we have water. How do you separate it? To get your water and your Fanta, after you have mixed them, how do you get your water back? How do you get your Fanta back? And after that, you come to the immiscible. You have your oil, you have your water. How you have these two things as a mixture. How do you get your oil back? How do you get your water back? We are talking about separation. So pay attention. We are going to look at how to separate them and you understand it. Now let's go. So separation of mixture. Every mixture has two or more constituents or components. A mixture of water and Fanta has two constituents or components. That is water and Fanta. I explained to you that components are parts of a mixture. The individual parts that come together to form a mixture, they are components. Another name for component is constituents. Component, another name for it is what? Constituents. So every mixture has components, or every mixture has constituents, the same thing. Now, if you have a mixture of water and Fanta, water is a constituent, Fanta is also a constituent. You can also say water is a component, Fanta too is a component. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So a mixture of kerosene and oil paint has these two constituents or components. That is 1, kerosene, 2, oil paint. Now, the next one, the components or constituent of a liquid-liquid mixture can be separated by the following methods. 1, distillation method. 2, separating funnel method. So all the types of mixtures that we have seen, the liquid-liquid mixtures, we can separate them. We can separate them by using these two methods, distillation method and separating funnel method. Okay, so let's look at them. Miscible liquids are separated by distillation, and immiscible liquids are separated by the use of a separating funnel and decantation. So listen, if you have miscible liquids that can be mixed completely to form one layer, we use distillation method. I'll show you a video of how distillation method is used to separate, and then I'll also help you perform practicals or experiment to separate immiscible liquids. So just relax for me. So here we are looking at distillation. I have told you that distillation method is used to separate miscible liquids like water, Fanta, right? Now let's move on. So in this method, miscible liquids are heated. Listen, in distillation, you first heat the mixture. The vapor of the liquid that boils first is passed through a tube or pipe. The tube cools or condenses the vapor and changes it back to liquid in a different container. The liquid formed from the vapor is called distillate. This method is used to separate liquids because all liquids have different boiling points. So if you come to this side, this is how distillation method is done. So if you look at the entire thing, here you have your solution here, your mixture here, right? You have your mixture here. So let's say you have alcohol and then you have your water here. What happens is that they all have different boiling points. So the one that will boil first, the vapor will pass here, come to this side and get to this point. So this is how distillation method is. This side is where the vapor will pass, and when the vapor passes here, it gets here and get what? Condensed into water, condensed into liquid. So here the condenser, this side, it changes the vapor into liquid. So here it will come here as vapor, but the moment it gets here, it will change from vapor to liquid, and then it will drop here as liquid. And this, what we get here, is what we call the distillate. So this is all about distillation. I'll show you a video. Okay, now let's look at the video before we come to the next one. So this is how distillation is. Have you seen it? So you have your mixture here. This is fire. So it will start boiling and turn into vapor. So the one with, because they all have different boiling points, the one that will evaporate first, the vapor will go up. The vapor, when it comes here, there is no space for the vapor to go, so it will pass through here. This is where the condenser is. So the condenser will change the vapor into water and it will fall here. Have you seen it? So the one that is turning into vapor will come back here as water or as liquid. So this is how distillation is all about. Have you seen it? This is all about distillation. Okay, so let's watch it again. We see the water is here, the mixture is here. So the fire will vaporize it. This will turn into vapor. The vapor will get here, come back, pass here. There is a hole. But when it gets here, these are condensers. They make it cool. So the cooling nature of it will turn the vapor into liquid. So here, when it passes here, you see the vapor is passing, but it has been changed to liquid. That is what is dropping here. So if you do that, all that components will change into vapor, turn into liquid here again for you. So you get one component separated from the other. So distillation, this is how distillation is about. We use it to separate miscible liquids. Now let's go back. Now this is another method of separating liquids, and this type of liquid mixture is what we call immiscible liquids. These liquids are not able to mix completely. So we are going to perform an experiment to see how we can separate these liquids. So separating funnel is a funnel that is used to separate immiscible liquids, and the procedure, we have it here. 1. This is separate and this is also separate. So if you have water and Fanta and you pour them into the same container and you mix it, will you get the Fanta on top and the water at the bottom? No. If you mix, they will form one layer. You will not see Fanta on top and water at the bottom. So that is miscible. But in this case, after mixing, you will still have the oil on top and the water at the bottom. So this one, they cannot mix. That is why we call it immiscible. So how to separate this is different from how to separate the miscible. We have learned about distillation. The distillation method is used to separate liquids that are miscible. But with separating funnel, this whole thing called separating funnel, we use it to separate liquids that are not able to mix completely. We use it to separate immiscible liquids. So this is how immiscible liquid is. Now if you have this, what you do is you open the tap here, so the stopcock, you open it, so you see that the liquid in this will drain. So it will start from here, the water level here, the one at the bottom will go down like that, go down like that, go down like that. So this one too will be coming. So this will go to the time all that component is what out of the whole thing, and then you remove the beaker, you take it away, you put another beaker, then you bring this one there, you allow this also what pour into it. So that is what the whole thing is about. So this is separating funnel. We use it to separate immiscible liquids. We will perform the practicals. Okay, before we look at the summary, let's go and do the practicals for the separating funnel. Okay, so I welcome you to the practical section. Here we are going to look at miscible and immiscible liquids and how to separate immiscible liquids. So that's what we are going to do. Now, when you talk of miscible liquids, we are talking about two liquids that can mix completely to form one layer. Immiscible liquids are liquids that cannot mix completely to form one layer. So in immiscible liquids, you see one liquid on top of the other. So that is what we are going to look at. We are going to look at how to separate immiscible liquids. And the best process or the best way to do that is to use what we call the separating funnel. I demonstrated to you how to get this improvised separating funnel. So if you look at this, a separating funnel, I have fixed it to this. So this is a stand. You can have your own stand depending on what you have at where you are. But here I have these boxes, so I decided to use it, and I've fixed it with a solid tape. So this is my separating funnel, and I have this which will correct the liquid from the separating funnel. Now let's look at it. This is oil. This is oil. This is also what? Cooking oil. This is cooking oil. So let me pour cooking oil into this. Let's see what will happen here. So this is cooking oil. Have you seen it? Okay. Now we are going to mix cooking oil and water. So let me pour water to it and see what will happen. So cooking oil and water, we have it here. Now this is fruit juice. So the fruit juice here is a calipo. So let me open the calipo. And pour it here. Okay, so we have a calipo here, which is the fruit juice. The fruit juice. Okay, let me add water to it. and leave the two and see what will happen. Or I can even mix this one. So this is water and calipo or fruit juice. Please, when you are writing, don't write calipo for me, write fruit juice. This side too, we have water and oil. Water and oil. I've mixed the two. Now let's look at something. Let's leave it for a few minutes and see what will happen to them. So this is liquid mixture. This is also liquid mixture because it's a mixture of two liquids. This is also a mixture of two liquids. That is why we call them liquid mixtures. Okay. But we learned that liquid mixture, we have miscible and immiscible. So the immiscible liquids are the liquids that are not able to mix completely. Immiscible liquids are liquids that are not able to mix completely to form one layer. So in immiscible liquids, you see two layers, or the number of liquids that you pour will determine the number of layers that you have. So if you pour two liquids, you see two what? Layers. But with miscible liquids, the two liquids are able to mix completely. They form one layer or one color. Let me use color so that you understand it. If you look at this one, how many colors do we have? Just one. Just one. This is water and fruit juice. They have mixed completely. So we have uniform color here. But when you come here, can you see it? You see there are two layers. The one that we have at the bottom is different from the one that we have on top. So you see that the two liquids were not able to mix. That is why we say this is immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids. So if you are asked to give examples of immiscible liquids, you can mention cooking oil and water, because the cooking oil is on top, the water too is at the bottom. So cooking oil and water is immiscible liquid. Now, how do we separate it? So we've seen that fruit juice and water, they can mix to form one layer or one uniform layer. So this is not immiscible, this is miscible. But this one, they are immiscible liquids. So how do we separate them? How do we get our water separated from our oil? That is why we are using this. So separating funnel is used to separate immiscible liquids. So what do? We will pour into this, and we will see that the liquid will be on top and the water will be at the bottom. So when we open this side, the one at the bottom will gradually drain into this. So you also monitor it. When it finishes, then you close it and get what is inside, what is left on top, which is the oil. So let's see how we do it. Before we pour the two liquids, the immiscible liquids, let's come here and have this side closed. So we need to close it. Okay. So this side is closed. Now, let's pour our liquids here and see what will happen. Let me hold it. So if you can see from this side, let me turn it for you to see. So here, what do we have? We have the oil on top and the water has gone down. The oil is on top, the water has gone down. The reason is that water is denser than oil. Water is denser than oil. That is why we have the oil on top of the water. Denser means heavier. That is why it's able to carry the oil. So water is heavier, is denser. That is why it's able to carry the oil. Okay, so here we can also see that the oil is on top because it is less denser. It's less denser, or it's denser than the oil, than the water. You should understand that the oil on top, the weight is lighter. The water that we have at the bottom, it is heavier. That is all denser. That is why it's able to carry the oil. Okay, now we have the water separated from the oil. So we are going to get the water out and see what will happen next. So you open this side. Have you seen it? You see that the water is draining. Look at the level of oil. Have you seen it? Now the oil is going, so we have closed it. Now all that we have here is water. Let's look at this. So what is flowing now is the oil. What is flowing now is the oil. So let's leave it to flow completely. So we have our oil coming out. Let me open it a bit. So you've seen that here we have the water separated and we have the oil to draining out. So this is how we separate two liquids that are not able to mix, and we call it immiscible liquids. This full thing is separating funnel, the use of separating funnel. And you should remember that separating funnel is used to separate two liquids that are not able to mix completely to form one layer. So now the water and the oil that were in the same container, we have them separated. So this is how we separate immiscible liquids. I hope you understand it. And I've also explained to you that the oil was on top of the water because water is denser than oil. Water is denser than oil. So that is the reason why the oil was on top of the water. Okay, so that is all. If you have questions, feel free and ask. But this thing, please look at the materials that you have in your area and try to build something like this to demonstrate to the case or the learners how to separate these two liquids. Very good. So if you also have the fruit juice and water, there is a way to go about it. But today our attention is on how to separate immiscible liquids. So at the right time, you will look at this one. Thank you. Okay, we are welcome back. Now we have seen how to separate immiscible liquids. Today's lesson is coming to a close. Today we have learned many things. We have learned about mixture. We have learned about liquid mixture. And we have also seen that even in liquid mixture, we have types. Those that are able to mix completely to form one layer, they are called miscible liquids. The liquids that are not able to mix completely to form one layer, they are called immiscible liquids. We have seen examples of miscible liquids, examples of immiscible liquids. And we have also seen how to separate them. The two main types or methods, that is the use of separating funnel and then distillation. Distillation is used for separating miscible liquids, and separating funnel is also used to separate immiscible liquids. This is what we have learned today, and I know you have enjoyed the lesson. Okay, before we look at the exercise, I want you to take your time, read, watch the video again, get the understanding before you even tackle the exercises. If you do that, all the exercises, you get them correct. And in fact, the questions too, they are not straightforward. You need to think deep before you can answer the questions. So now let's look at the exercises that we have. We have exercise 1 here, 5 questions. We have exercise 2, true or false. We have exercise 3, exercise 4, home assignment 1, home assignment 2, home assignment 3. Okay, so this is what you are doing as your exercises and your home assignments. Take your time and do them. Thanks so much for your time. Hello, I welcome you to today's session. Today we are going to have our separating funnel. You know, most of the schools don't have separating funnel to do the demonstration or the practicals when it comes to separating liquid mixture. We have different types of liquid mixture. We have the miscible and immiscible. The immiscible is where the two liquids are not able to mix together to form one layer. So you see one liquid on top of the other. So in such situation, how do you separate the two liquids? We use what we call separating funnel. And that is something that most of the teachers, they don't get it to demonstrate this when they are teaching the topic. So today I'm here to show how we can improvise to get separating funnel. So the materials that you see are the things that I'm going to use. Okay, I know other teachers too, they have also made their own separating funnel. You can also share how you did yours with me or with others so that we all learn from ourselves and develop ourselves as well. So what I'm going to do now is to make the separating funnel with these materials. So first, let me introduce the materials to you. This is just glass jar. This is glass jar. It's not one of the main things that I will need. Okay. This is water. So when I finish, I have to try it and see whether it is working well. That's why I have a bottle of water here. And I will also try it with the glass jar. Okay. Now I have this here. This is drink calipo. Okay. So this will also be used for the practicals. This is matches. So the main things that I'm going to need to make the separating funnel, I need matches. So it is here. I need empty bottle water. It's also here. I need knife. This is knife. I need this. You can't see it. It is chewing gum. What our grandmothers call gum, chewing gum. This is chewing gum. So I will also need it. Please make sure you buy a new one, you chew it and you use it on your own. Don't take what somebody has used or chewed. So make sure you buy your own one, chew it and use it to make the separating funnel. Okay, I have this here. We use this when we are washing and want to hang our dress. Okay, so this is paste. This one is straw. When I bought the calipo, it was part of it. So I've taken parts. I've taken the straw. I'll need it. I'll also need the calipo itself for the actual demonstration. Now this is straw, and I have this here. You all know it. It is candle. So first I'll light the candle. This is what I'll need. I'll remove the top and then bring it closer to the fire so that this side will become soft. If it becomes soft, I can easily create hole in it and fix it. Let me light the candle. So the candle is now lighted. Let's see. So what we are going to do is to remove this, the cover. is to remove it. We want to create hole here. If you use knife to create hole, you suffer. So what you need is to take that part closer to fire to make the place soft for you to create the hole. I'm trying to remove this paper here. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. So you turn it like this. Have you seen it? Take it closer. Take it closer. You have to watch your hands. The fire is too much. Okay. Okay, so here we can create hole by cutting this side. First, you need to use the matchstick to create the hole before you insert this side. Okay, so you insert this. Very good. So now we have it. We have it here. Have you seen it? Yes. For us to get the straw and the bottle top well fixed, we will need this. This is chewing gum. So you take it around this side and make sure you press on it to make it firm, all the sides. This will also prevent water from leaking around it. Okay, so take your time and do this. You take your time and you do this. Okay, so we have our straw fixed to the bottle cover or the top. Okay, now we can cover it like this. So if you have water in this, the water will drain or flow through the straw, right? Okay, so how do we pour water into it if this side is connected? If the top is attached to it, how do you pour water here? So what you do is to cut this side. If you cut this side, we can pour water and the water will flow through here. So let's cut this side. Okay, so now we have it like this. Okay, this side needs to be controlled. Here we need to get something that will close it and at the same time help us open it. Okay, that is why we have the pairs here. So the pairs will be fixed here. We can add one to it to make it firm and strong, so that when you pour water or the liquid, it will know what flow. Now let's see. We are now going to pour water into it and see if the water will what flow out. So actually this is the separating funnel. These ones are used to stop the water from draining down. This is the part that we are going to pour the two liquids. Okay, so now let's just check whether this side is okay. It can contain the water or the liquid in it. So we are pouring it. Have you seen it? So the water is inside. It is not draining. It is not draining. So this is a separating funnel. If you want the water to drain, what you do is to remove this. Have you seen it? If you want to stop it, you stop it by fixing it. So this is the separating funnel that we are going to use to separate liquid mixture, where one liquid or all the liquids are separated. Liquids that are not able to mix, we separate them by using this. This is what we call the separating funnel. This is what we call the separating funnel. So that is that. Okay, so we will do the practicals and you understand it better. The science that we have is unique and different from others. I know you are asking me, why is it different? It is different because our science books comes with video lesson. So you don't just buy the text book. You also have access to video lesson. So every topic, every indicator, there is a video for it, explaining everything. So that is why you need to get Kokomoti series. We have science, we have Asante Tree, we have Ekuapim Tree. Our books are very good. Get copies and you see your performance in the classroom. Your teachers, they will ask, they will be so surprised. You see, you do well. Yes. So that is what I want to tell you. Our videos are on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Go there, watch. After watching, subscribe, share, like, comment, and do all the things that you know to push the channel. My name is Paul Zofori. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.